Welcome to Torah Smash, the podcast for nerdy Jews, where our lives of Jewish learning collide with our love of nerd culture. In each episode, we discuss what we lovingly call a Torah Smash, which we have defined as a beautiful collision of one thing from the world of Judaism with another from nerd culture. I am Barak Malkin, and joining me today are...
Ethan Lane Miller.
RDY with some strange skin rash.
That's a good lead, and in today's episode, I want us to talk about the Torah portion that I have found has one of the worst reputations when it comes to reading the story.
Worst.
It is Leviticus, I think 14 through 15, parsha metzorah, or more commonly referred to as the one about leprosy. Now, I know there are clergy...
I missed that Friends episode.
You did?
You're so lucky it was terrible.
That's amazing. I know that there are clergy and educators out there who fight and battle against this and find ways to make this least favorite portion become one that is digestible and translatable to modern day. For my friend Jason, who is not Jewish, in this portion, essentially God describes the purification ritual for people and homes afflicted with skin diseases. The story comes around, and we all know it. It exists. It's part of the larger story, but it's rarely somebody's favorite. So, with that in mind, what is the nerd smash for today's episode?
Oh, man. Are you talking about the purification or the skin disease part of it?
I'm talking about it exists, it's part of a larger story, and it's rarely somebody's favorite.
Oh, like the episodes in a series that we ignore, like episodes 1 through 3?
Yeah, I think you are pretty much spot on. So for today's episode, we are going to be talking about unpopular and bad movies in franchises. I think
my God, that's fun.
This extends to TV shows as well, absolutely. So I'd been thinking about this one for a while, but it was really inspired when I was looking at all of the movies and shows that had come out from Marvel and which one I wanted to talk about. And I will say that since Endgame, I think there's only been two good properties to come out: Spider-Man No Way Home and Agatha All Along. The rest of them, meh.
Wait, do you count Into the Spider-Verse, or is it because
no,
it's
I don't
not
count.
really part of the universe?
That's not part of the MCU. Yeah, so I'm not counting that.
Okay.
But all these other ones, they're part of the story. So to start out, let's just ask, what are some terrible stories from popular franchises, either movie franchises or episodes in a series, things that exist and help move the larger story along, but you wish really weren't listed as part of the whole?
Episodes 1 through 3 and 7 through 9 of the Star Wars universe.
None of those? Is it just because you were a kid when the originals came out, and so like that holds a place in your heart? Because there's some good ones. You don't like any of those?
I think it may be. There are definitely good parts to 2 and 3.
Sure.
And there are good parts to 9.
I don't think so.
What exactly? Yeah. Like, way to bolster my point.
Yeah.
The formula from 4 through 5, when they tried to repeat it exactly in episode 1 and use Jar Jar in place of Chewbacca, that failed so badly that they nerfed him for 2 and 3, which we were all thankful for. The fight in the lava pit between Anakin and Obi-Wan was fantastic. So like, yes, there can be things that are good, but just like we say, a broken clock is correct twice a day.
How about you, Ethan?
I mean,
I hope you're going to I hope you're going to say, man, season 5, episode 3 of Star Trek something. I should not have been part of
That's what I was thinking he was going to say.
Oh my God, your face. Was it? Are you doing that? Yes. Go ahead.
There's an episode of Star Trek Voyager that is more or less regarded as one of the worst things Star Trek has ever done.
Uh-huh.
It's called Threshold. It's where they somehow break the like theoretical top speed of warp speed, but it causes Tom Paris to evolve at like rapid pace, and turns out we evolve into lizards. Then he kidnaps the captain, and she also evolves into a lizard, and they have lizard babies, and it's never talked about ever again.
That's great. Yeah, I have on my list of things in terms of TV shows the episode of Stranger Things where Eleven just has her own storyline and doesn't impact anything really beyond maybe her own growth, but they could have done something else.
I also find that like one of my favorite properties in the MCU is one of other people's least favorite, which is Captain America: The Winter Soldier.
No, that's a good one.
Who says that's their worst? Because they're wrong.
Well, they are. Thank you, friends.
Yeah.
Thank you, fellow co-hosts and like-minded people.
If you find me on Instagram and you watch my like 2020 COVID, what else are we doing? I'm pretty sure I called that one my favorite MCU film.
Nice.
Excellent.
Yeah, I would say just around, I think, no, it was before that one. Thor 2, The Dark World. Absolutely one of the worst movies in the Marvel franchise. But they kept it and they went back to it for Endgame. They went back to, I think it was Thor 2 is the one they went back to get the red ether.
In the time heist. They had to, that's how they had to
I wish they had ignored that movie. I wish they just pretended like the rest of us that it did not exist.
Although in Endgame, the scene between Thor and his mom is one of the most tear-jerking scenes in the movie.
Yeah, it's fine. You know what? That didn't happen in Thor 2.
Well, it did now.
Now, technically did in Endgame. But I'm saying, like, they sort of...
he's got a point.
They sort of fixed it a little bit, but the movie itself was not... I don't remember most of it. Like, I can tell you what happens. I just don't... I forgot most of it. Indiana Jones and the Kingdom of the Crystal Skull. I wish that one...
really good call. Yeah.
That one was weird. I don't know how people survive refrigerators like that after an atomic blast. That one is, yeah. And it wouldn't be part of the storyline if they didn't then go and do the Dial of Destiny, because then it still does exist within it. It could have just forgot it as an end cap, but man, that was a bad movie.
Dial of Destiny, not that good either, but it wasn't the piece of garbage that Crystal Skull was. Also, like, the Indiana Jones universe has always intended to be satirical and goofy. So you have to like take I think they're just on that balance beam and they just fell way off.
Yeah, it also it falls into that like tertiary, there's magic in history if you believe in it kind of thing.
Yeah.
Like that's where it falls. And so I think my problem with Crystal Skull was that it became less magic and more alien technology. And that's where it diverted for me. I think similarly for Temple of Doom, it was less magic and more ritualistic, right? It wasn't historical artifacts. It was this people culture that was creating the magic. And so in those, it's not good.
Stones glowed when he brought it next to the other stones. It glowed.
It's still good. Alien. So my garage clicker only works when I'm next to the garage. It's an alien technology.
I'll give it to you. We can say magnetism, that kind. Okay,
something, whatever. I don't know. Aliens created it. I don't know.
I'm mad at myself for giving it to you. But
sure, that's fine.
Can we go one more? And Ethan, you will either correct me if I'm wrong or forgive me for using Star Trek for this purpose.
Ooh, I think I know what you're going to say. Go ahead.
The first season of The Next Generation.
I mean, I wouldn't say that it's like so bad that you forget it, but like Star Trek does have a long tradition of like having a really bad first couple seasons and they figure it out.
This is probably why I don't watch Star Trek, is because I don't have the patience to go through bad stuff.
I would say, Ethan, I don't know if you would say all of the odd numbered Star Trek movies.
Not all of them, but I would certainly say Star Trek 5 is... I absolutely want to pretend that doesn't exist.
Right. Which one was that? Is that the one where time travel one?
No,
that's 4, which is a great movie.
It's where they find God.
Oh, that was awful.
This is all really fun, but I don't want my wife to hate me. We know that she likes a good balance of nerd and Jewish. So let's switch back over to the Jewish side. Let's start with this parsha about leprosy, which I'm definitely minimizing it down to like an isolated incident.
Also, not leprosy.
Oh, not leprosy?
Yeah, no. Everyone translates it as leprosy because that is the skin disease that we're aware of, that causes people to be ostracized, that makes people not even want to touch the clothing of the people who have it. But leprosy is not curable, and tzora'at, the disease that is described in Parshat Metzorah, is curable. It's also kind of a miraculous cure and a miraculous getting of the disease. Moses gets it and is cured by it. Miriam gets it and is cured of it. And anyone who gets it can be inspected by the priests to be found pure once again. Also, I will say the parshat metzorah, is often connected to the parsha right before it, which is called Tazria. And because of the way the Hebrew calendar works, sometimes parshiot are doubled. And I won't get into the whys and the hows, but when Tazria and Metzorah are pushed together as one single weekly reading, it is such a relief because we only have to deal with that garbage once. Because the best thing about Tazria is that it's not Metzorah.
So yeah, I want to ask that. So my experience has been people don't like that portion. Kids don't like getting it for their bar mitzvah. Clergy often struggle when it's assigned to a student for their bar mitzvah, for their speech, like how the struggles
yes
that they
and
go
no.
through. Right.
Yes and no,
So
because sometimes the goocher is that we will intentionally put a kid on it so that we don't have to do it again. Because it's
because you don't want
it's
it.
always the same sermon. It's always the same. Well,
right.
What are the things that we avoid?
Right. So my question is, have you guys found that to be the same experience as me? That it is everybody's least favorite?
For that parsha, yeah.
Yeah.
Like colleagues, students, yes.
Yeah. And it comes around in the spring? Is that when it usually comes around?
Yes. Late spring, early summer.
Right.
It bounces around again, Hebrew calendar, weird thing.
Right. But the summer camps usually never have to deal with it when they're on site.
Right. The summer camps get to deal with talking donkeys.
Yeah, I haven't had to deal with that.
All right, so let me ask you this. So aside from the parsha about magic leprosy, do you have other least favorite Jewish texts?
I would say any text that people try to use to justify denying human rights from others.
Oh, nice.
Wow.
I would say that's not a least favorite text for me. That is a least favorite way people interpret the text. But I do like that example.
That's a nice answer to the wrong question. So
I don't know that I agree with you fully, but it is your episode.
It's okay. That's fine. How about you, Artie? As a person who probably experiences all the parsha more frequently than Ethan or myself, do you have a least favorite text that pops up?
I mean, metzorah is, I obviously already said is the worst, but like most of the book of Leviticus, the first parsha in Numbers, Parshat Bamidbar, is pretty boring.
That's what I have. I have that because for those that aren't aware of Bamidbar, that's essentially the census parsha. It's just taking attendance.
Yeah.
Twice? Do they do it twice?
Now let's count these people.
Yeah.
They do it twice and then they do it in the next parsha also.
Yeah, it's a how invigorating.
Is that ever doubled up?
No, sadly.
Yeah. But I think there's also a lot more to pull from that one than there is from the magic leprosy parsha.
Yeah, the magic of Bamidbar, the first parsha in the book of Numbers, when you're counting everyone, is again, it's everyone has the same sermon. We don't have to count things, we have to make ourselves count.
Well, or also it's like it's so detailed, like an accountant wrote this up, that you can also just take a look at one line and say, like, what does this line mean? Why are there 30 of these people? Let's
good point.
Right? So you can just
also from Parshat Bamidbar, you get Serach bat Asher, who is the ageless or non-aging woman who appears throughout history.
Oh, what?
Oh, yeah. There is, in the genealogy in the book of Numbers, there is one female noted. And it's Serach bat Asher. And she is also in the genealogy that's noted in the book of Deuteronomy. So people are like, wait a second, you're not supposed to live through from Numbers to Deuteronomy. The whole generation is supposed to be wiped out. Why is she here again? And the answer becomes because she has eternal life.
But we don't get her story?
No, it's Midrash.
That's fascinating. Oh, I like that. I didn't know about this at all.
Yeah, she's great.
Yeah. Okay, so let me ask this. We've talked about the nerd stories we don't like and the Jewish stories we don't like. Here's my next question. Are these stories important? Both on the Jewish side and the nerd side. Are they important? Should they have been created, or should we just have hoped that they never existed in the first place?
Well, I think those are different questions.
Yeah, those are.
Okay, fine. Then let's take them one at a time. Are they important?
Yes.
To whom?
I don't know. To everybody? But
to everybody, of course not.
Ethan, give me the yes. Give me the yes.
It's still part of the story. It is still part of the, and I'm stealing a little bit from the episode that came out 2 weeks ago about Pixar theory. But like, there's Ardua talking about like, it's still in the canon. The story is still there, and there are things that we can take and glean from it.
But couldn't they have written a
Speaking
better
of, am I
story?
too late to add the Good Dinosaur to the movies?
List of if you count the Pixar theory universe as its own franchise, I guess you could add it in. But I will challenge Ethan and say, like, I agree that they have elements of the story that needed to be there, but couldn't we have gotten a better story?
Of course, we could have a better story.
Right. Okay, so we did the answer. Are the important. So the other question that we separated out is: should they have existed in the first place, or should something else have replaced them?
This is where I would say yes, they're important. I agree with Ethan, and to say couldn't it have been better would probably be more accurate if we were writing it today, but it was written a minimum of 2,800 years ago, probably longer than that when it was written down in the form that we know it. So we have to give them a little slack and help ourselves understand that there is a difference between good writing now and good writing at any other point in history.
Yeah, I would agree for that on the Jewish side. Thor 2 was about 10 years ago.
Okay. I thought you meant the Jewish ones.
Both. I'm both. Yeah.
Fair. There are some bad movies that I like.
Yeah.
Like when you and I went to see The Flash.
Yeah, that
was a bad movie, but it was enjoyable.
Sure. It was entertaining. Let's shift over to I think this lands more on the Jewish side. Let's start there first. But when bad stories come up, and for us as Jewish professionals, how do you deal with them? What do you do to deal with them? Do you acknowledge and just say right from the get-go, hey, class, just so you know, you're going to hate this, but I'm going to try to make it fun anyway? Like, what is your approach to dealing with these terrible stories, either of you?
Acknowledge it.
I think it depends in what context, because if it's a kid becoming b'mitzvah and they land on the week of metzorah, there's nothing I can do. Like, this is your lot and it stinks and I'm sorry. But when it comes to teaching a class, then it's real easy to ignore because I set the curriculum. Sure. So sometimes I just, give them a stick to bite on and say, well, we're all in this together. And sometimes I just walk around.
Right. You let them explore it and discover for themselves how they will respond to it. Sure.
Right.
What do you do on the nerd side when a terrible movie or TV show comes out? Do you say to some, like Ethan, do you say to somebody, oh man, you've got to watch this franchise, skip season 2, and then you'll be fine? But do you acknowledge it? Do you let them experience it on their own? What do you typically do in those?
Depends on the person and the objective. Mm-hmm. If I am rewatching, let's say, Star Trek The Next Generation, I will watch every first and second season episode.
Oh, and second.
Well, the second season, you also have moments. You have episodes where it's like, oh, they've really figured this out. Like the second season is where we have The Measure of a Man, which I think is one of the best things Star Trek ever did, where it basically asks the question, does Data have rights?
We talked about that one on an episode.
Ooh, yeah. I don't remember whether he has rights or not.
I usually watch those pieces when they come up again. It's rare. I've never walked out of a movie, right, in its thing. And when I'm watching a bad movie, I will finish it. There's only been one movie I haven't finished, and it was only because 10 minutes in, it was still very boring to me, and I just shut it off. And it was like a 2.5-hour movie, and I was like, if I can't do the first 10 minutes, I'm not going to do the rest. That's the only one I've stopped. Other than that, I don't feel it's right for me to judge unless I've completed the thing in its a whole. And so it's also hard for me to judge metzorah because I haven't read the entire thing on my own or in a class model to really analyze what's happening. But I've just heard time and again how much clergy hate when this one comes up. And so that's why it's culturally accepted as like a least favorite. But
it's a least, it definitely. Yeah.
But for me, I enjoy the exploration of it. And so I often will allow other people to make those decisions for themselves as opposed to leading in with the, brace yourselves.
I think I'm similar to where you are on the nerd side. Like if I decide I'm going to watch through the MCU, which I haven't done since COVID, but I did it. I'm going to watch The Dark World.
Right. And Quantumania and Black Widow movie
Ugh,
And
Quantumania, yeah.
yeah, right. All the ones since Endgame have not been great. Except for Spider-Man No Way Home. I did enjoy Thunderbolts a little bit more than the rest of them have, but then I reflected, I was like, yeah, but it's like comparatively, it was really good. But if you go back to like a movie on its own, meh.
I loved the new Avengers. I
Yeah.
thought it was a great movie. I have only seen it once, but it just popped up on Disney Plus, so I'm gonna watch it
Yeah,
again real soon.
that was a very fun movie. I did enjoy it. It was a great cast, like a nice cooperative cast movie. So really good. But pretty much Thor 4 was so wild and weird.
Love
Um
and Thunder, yeah,
yeah,
that was weird.
there's a lot of them have just not been strong. They've not been strong since Endgame. I have
Which is
really high hopes for Fantastic Four, and I have high hopes for Secret Wars and Doomsday. Like I'm excited for
me
those.
too.
Yeah.
Me too. And also, like, there are things in the Marvel TV world that have been great since then.
Yeah,
But
WandaVision and Agatha all along.
okay, I think there's more, but
Oh,
we'll
go
talk
ahead.
about it.
It's a,
We'll talk about it in 2 weeks.
okay. Whoa. All right, so let's
That
I
was
think
way too much of a hint. That you guys are gonna kill it.
Yeah.
all right, so this is again least favorite. I don't have much else to talk about on this one. So I will ask you both, what is your favorite worst movie? Either could be part of a franchise or not part of a franchise. What is something the world has decided is terrible that you say, you know what? I really enjoyed that.
Star Trek the motion picture.
The first one.
Yeah.
Okay.
I
I
might
feel
be
like
cheating slightly because I'm like including like the newest director's edition that came out, but like I feel like it is far overhated.
Well, so okay, are you doing Star Trek 1 the new director edition or are you doing it when it came out, Star Trek 1? The one everybody knows.
I'm doing the director's edition.
But the original one still no good.
It's been so long. I mean,
Yeah.
when I got the like Blu-ray editions of the films and I watched it, I was like, oh, this was good. Why do people hate on
Oh,
this?
it's very funny.
it's so hard because, like I said earlier, like I really have the ability to let go and find something enjoyable if I'm sitting in the movie theater. I do think that very often you will pan something that I didn't think was that bad.
Hmm.
Um, you, Barack, and I think that you are very critical of creative properties, probably because you are so creative and have the ability to think of better ways to do things.
That sounds so high and mighty of me. I apologize. I don't
You
mean
didn't, no, not you. You didn't high. I wouldn't call it high and mighty of you, but you have a tendency to like. I'll come out of a movie and go, "Oh, I kind of like that," and then you'll say, "On reflection, I
Ugh.
didn't really like."
I'm so sorry. That feels like you go, man,
No,
I enjoyed that, and I just spit in your food.
no, totally not. It's called discussion. Like that's what we do.
Okay. Okay.
It's
Cool.
all
Good.
good.
Good. I have a list here, but I think movies that everybody says that's terrible and I enjoyed. I'm gonna list Adam Sandler's Jack and Jill.
I haven't seen it.
Yeah, it's not a great movie, but it's about twins. It's about fraternal twins, which I'm a fraternal twin. The brother moves to LA for movie stuff, and I moved to LA not for movie stuff. The sister comes and visits, who's a little like wanting of more attention and love, which my sister sort of does sometimes. Hi, Chef, love you. And there's also like this huge subplot line about Don Quixote, and I love Don Quixote. And so it's just really weird to watch that movie. And as it kept going, I was like, what is happening? How is this my life? Like it was really strange. So that is one that I haven't seen it many times. I think I've only seen it twice. But out of like worst movies, that is definitely on my everybody hates it, but I enjoyed it.
I think with that explanation, if everybody had a twin sister and moved to LA and Don
Mhm.
Quixote,
Yeah.
like maybe more people would like it.
Maybe. Yeah, everybody just get a twin sister and enjoy Don Quixote more.
All right.
On it.
Yeah. Any other like worst movies that people hate that you like? I'll list my other three and then you can share on. I have Idiocracy, which was
Great movie.
right, was panned when it came out
So
and
much fun.
has gotten more of a cult following. I thoroughly enjoyed Biodome with Pauly Shore.
I was on a huge Pauly Shore kick when that came out,
Yeah.
as was the rest of the world.
Yeah. And then this one gets a bad rap in this franchise. I thoroughly enjoyed Batman Forever, the Batman movie where they face off against Two-Face and the Riddler.
I had fun with Batman Forever. I'm not a fan of Batman and Robin.
Mm. Yeah.
I haven't seen those in so long, but I remember just as a kid being like, no, this is fine. I like this.
Yeah. Cool.
We had mentioned Indiana Jones and the Temple of Doom.
Yeah.
And I had a lot of friends who hated that movie. And like, I have one friend in particular who is currently a rabbi who's like, it's a terrible movie. It's got singing in it. And it remains one of my favorite of the Indiana Jones series.
Her screaming is too much for me in that.
I really don't like that one.
She does scream a lot.
Yeah.
She screams a lot. Yeah.
A lot. It's her only dialogue essentially is.
But it's got Kihui Kwan. It's, Data's in it.
Yeah. Not your Data, Ethan.
I know. I've seen it and I don't love it.
Yeah. I did a rewatch of the series before Dial of Destiny. I watched the 4 movies. Yeah, and I was hoping for more, and they try with like hidden passageways and these mysterious things, but there's a lot of like hopeful jump scares in that movie that just don't land. Even in like, I agree with Ethan. Not great. Sorry.
I love it.
Me
great lines. Yeah. Like I had bugs for lunch. Like I love it.
Awesome. Well, to wrap up, I want to say that it's okay if a story is bad. Not every story can be great. And not every story can even be meh. Sometimes there are just stories. But art is a matter of perspective. Your least favorite movie, maybe someone else's favorite movie. So we need to be mindful when we're talking about the stories that we think are just the absolute worst. People have different opinions about movies, and that's fine. You don't have to watch the movie or read the story again. Unless, of course, you happen to be at Temple the night the leprosy portion is read, then you just kind of have to listen.
Love it.
All right, well, that'll do it for this episode of Torah Smash. Our fiscal sponsor is Jewish Creativity International. Our theme music was created by Sean Fogel. You can check out Sean's bands and studio work at www.thesleepywest.com. If you enjoyed today's episode, be sure to rate and review us wherever you listen. It helps others find us and is an excellent way to support the podcast. We want to hear from you and continue today's nerdy discussion. Go to torahsmash.com to find where to connect with us online, purchase swag from our store, support us with a donation, find previous episodes, and more. And if you happen to find yourself stuck at the base of Mount Sinai waiting for a census, don't let it give you a headache. Just remember to take 2 tablets.
I didn't do that on purpose.
I wish we could keep that. So funny. It's so funny. I can't even use that as a post credit. That is too good.
I didn't even do it on purpose.
Oh man. God.